All right, I thought I would do an entry today at the start of the semifinals, the NBA playoffs 2021, and I could go about this three ways. Let me tell you two ways I'm not going to go about it, and you can check those later. But you could do actually an entry that maybe something goes like this: NBA playoffs 2021, out of the bubble, and the king is dead for now. But I'm not doing that one today, all right? I'm just going to do the take on really what it takes to win NBA titles. And we'll just start this today, and we'll finish soon. So check it out. Keep checking back with Basketball Cheat Sheet on YouTube. And so anyway, here's what I want to do. I want to take one series at a time and talk about key elements and do it all in the next 3 minutes, because we'll keep all of these short and sweet and all. The essence of what Milwaukee must do to beat Brooklyn in this series is in really, don't ever do this yourself when you're making a video. Don't make it about one thing, but I'm gonna. This is Drew Holiday's time to become king of the NBA. You hear what I said? And even if he doesn't become king, and by becoming king, that means that his team wins the title and he's the MVP, and he was the main reason they defeated Brooklyn and then either Philly or Atlanta, and then whoever wins the West, right? But this is his absolute time. And look, I want to say this as well. This is no disrespect whatsoever to the one guard that he was traded for, who went to the team that he came from. And everybody knows who I'm talking about. And on purpose, I'm not even going to say his name, because he is a heck of a player. He's out of University of Kentucky. I'm talking about Eric Bledsoe. He's done some great things in this league. But Drew Holiday is not only a much more complete basketball player than him, but really I think you could easily make an argument that Drew Holiday is the most complete lead guard in the NBA. And notice I don't use the term point guard, because guys my age, if you're even close to my age, that conjures up this image of a non-multi-skilled, a narrowly skilled, old-timey guard who basically could handle the ball and pass it very well and only shoot when he really had to. That ain't been the lead, what people call point guard in the NBA. And of course the position can be played many different ways, but it's all about getting buckets and on the other end preventing buckets. And at each position, if you have the advantage and those players on your team can play together, you win titles. And that's what rosters are trying to do, and that's what Milwaukee has finally done. Think about it. If they play well and it's all about making shots, they have everything to win a title, and they have a lot of what Brooklyn doesn't, a lot of size. As long as Brooklyn doesn't clamp down the perimeter and prevent Milwaukee from getting the ball around the bucket, they'll not only have a lot of dunks and a lot of makes and all that, and that's another thing about this series. Brooklyn ain't exactly the greatest defensive team. They can play D pretty well, but they'll have to have a lot of D to win not only the whole thing, but even this series. That's why I'm seriously leaning toward Milwaukee, because if Drew Holiday comes through in a major way, like I'm confident he will, he might not. And it's never about one player. I know that. But I just feel like everybody else is going to do their thing for Milwaukee, and certainly for Brooklyn too, especially on the offensive end. So there's some questions. Don't think Brooklyn's walking away with this thing. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, because really I was just thinking about this series as I was listening to local sports talk radio, the Saturday Sports Report on Fox Sports 1400 out of Spartanburg, 98.3 FM. Mitch and the boys. Thought I'd give them one. But anyway, it's 7 to 10 Saturday morning. Didn't mean to do an ad for Mitch, but he's my boy. But anyway, getting back to this and to sum it up, watch the tone in the first 17, 20, 25 minutes of game one at the one spot. Because in all likelihood, Drew Holiday will be guarding probably the most gifted player in history as far as with the ball in his hands in Kyrie Irving. And certainly, if not the greatest, top 2, 3, 4, 5, worst case scenario. So that is such a key matchup. But then, of course, I said I'd keep this sweet. We'll go back into it on one of the next entries. Stay tuned on YouTube. This is Basketball Cheat Sheet.